Hi guys, let's talk about our Altered Book Pages project. Our objectives are using a book of choice, create a series of 3 altered book pages using a media of choice, and then use creativity and creative thinking by choosing words and imagery that create a cohesive series of works that expresses a message. So let's look at an artist named Tom Phillips who spent his career creating altered book pages. His most well-known work is called A Humament. It is a work in progress since 1966. He was born in 1937 and died in 2022, and he was born in London and worked in London. And his personal challenge was to find a secondhand book for really cheap and then alter every single page in that book with painting, collage, and various techniques to create a new piece of art. So he found this book called A Human Document from 1892. He made a first version in 1973, and over the course of his career and his life, he would transform it, revise it, and develop it. So he made multiple copies of this book. So over the course of his life, he created 6 of these versions. So A Humament, that name for his work of art came from folding one of the pages in the book, and it just read the title and the words in that combination. So he created that title from that. So it's called Humament. And then over the course of his career, like I mentioned before, he would make new versions of this book. So this is where you could see what the original page looked like. His version from 1973, and then his version from 2015. So as an artist, it is very important that you go back, revise, reinterpret, and revision your own work, and then creates a new work. It helps evolve your practice. So he did this over the course of his life. Like I mentioned before, he made 6 different versions of this book, and each are different. So he's looking at something he made previously, and then looking at it again, making different choices in his work, especially because this is a book. So the entire book he recreated over and over and over again. So here is the original page, the 1973 version, and then the 1986 version. Here is another version. So you can see in the first one, it's a lot of texture, pen and ink, and then in the 1996 version, he added some imagery with roses, changed the words that he picked. And then another one. And he used all sorts of different materials. So this is paint, collage, pen, pencil. So for your project, I want you to create a series of 3 or more altered book pages from the same book, so in the same way that Tom Phillips created his. So the requirements are that your pages must be cohesive or have an identifiable theme throughout the work. So as you're looking through the pages, you need to think of a theme, things that work together. So you need to utilize your words, be very choosy with the words you pick, and it should be reflected in the imagery, something with the words that you choose. I'm also looking for very high craftsmanship and some personal expression creativity. So as you're looking through pages, start thinking about what those words say to you, which ones stand out, and how you can create imagery that is cohesive and that works with the words you pick. So your first step, choose a book. I have a bunch of books for you to choose from. And you want to just find some pages, and I like to use tracing paper. So read the page, look for anchor words or words that stand out or are meaningful to you. So consider the theme. So with the words that you're choosing, what kind of theme goes with it? And then you can use tracing paper to experiment with your choices and circle them, make some little designs. And then if you decide that those are not what you want to pick, you can get a new piece of tracing paper and then redo it. So don't draw on your page first because I only have a few of the books. And then highlight, circle words lightly. Like I said, you can also get a new piece of tracing paper and then try different versions before you choose what's going to stick. So then once you have your kind of loose sketch with the tracing paper, you want to create links between the words. and brainstorm some imagery that represents the words or theme that you're going with. And then also you can choose any media you want. So you can use pencil, you can use watercolor, you can use paint, you could use pen, you can use Sharpies, you can use Poscas, anything that you like. Color pencil. So here is an example from mine. You want to draw, paint, create your images. So you want to make sure that your words flow through the work and they're easy to read. So you might want to make a kind of line that connects them. It could be in the way that you highlight them. It's all up to you. And then the imagery and the words should work together as a group. And then here is my example. So I picked a series from this really obscure Shakespeare text, and then I picked imagery that went with the words that I chose. So mine is about grief and loss. So I'm thinking about imagery that speaks to that, the words that I chose, and then I arrange them in a series of 3. So once you're finished, just make sure you document your work and turn it in. And then also don't forget to do a reflection and assessment when you're done. I cannot wait to see what you guys come up with. Good job.